Welcome back, YouTube. I'm John at jandjautowrecking, and we are back tonight on Project 185. When we last left off, I had taken the valve covers and the plenum off, and we found the fire damage on the car, which turned out to be caused by the alternator. So, off camera, I've had a crazy couple of weeks, haven't had a bunch of time to work on this thing, but done like 30-40 minute spurts in between kids' activities and whatnot. But I managed to bust out the steam cleaner and get all of the fire damage cleaned up there. I installed a new-to-me alternator, tested good, and then I went ahead and repaired the power cable here. I've got that all wrapped. I talked to a bunch of people. It turns out it's totally safe to repair that with the minimal damage it had. I cut back a bunch of the factory sheath off of it, replaced it with some UL certified heat shrink tubing, and I actually went ahead and unwound the copper wiring and packed it full of dielectric grease, so there should be no corrosion issues. But like I said, got it back in, got it recovered with a real nice shrink tubing, some electrical tape, and that plastic insulation wrap over it again. It's going to be good to go. Now, one thing that I was not expecting to fix was this cooling hose right here. That had actually melted off in the accident. So I went ahead, I think I've got the old one here. Yeah, there we go. Wasn't really counting on that, but I pulled it off and thought to myself, easy fix. Let's go to the parts store and get a hose. Man, I was wrong. Turns out that is a 14mm inside diameter hose. Next to impossible to find locally. Summit Racing's only 20 minutes up the road. I stopped out there. They've got nothing for me. So my only option was to go to the local Chevy dealer, where I purchased a heater hose for a C5 Corvette. We looked up like a 2002 Chevy Corvette because I actually discovered online that they use 9/16 heater hose. So I can actually say that I have fixed my Maserati with a C5 Corvette part, but I don't know. I'll show this repair one more time. I got some fancy heavy-duty clamps from Napa with the rounded edges so they don't tear into it. The hose just makes a slight bend. I don't know. If there's anything I'm a little bit concerned with on this repair, it's going to be that. It's not the end of the world if I blow a cooling hose. Obviously, I know how to take it back apart, but I don't know. Maserati wanted almost $200, I think, for that line down. I'll show you where it runs here. It literally just goes from here to there. And I want to say it was close to $200 shipped, which just really wasn't going to cut it for me, so we went that route. Now, we did get the valve covers back from powder coating. Local shop, Gorilla Powder Coating, got those done for us. Chartreuse Sherbet, I believe, is the color, and man, is that loud. The grommets were actually done in a bronze color, too. I don't know, I wanted something different. I really like that color. The car does have a salvage title, so there's no point in, like, I don't know, worrying about originality. It's my car. It is what it is. I'm going to chop it all up and make it ugly. Ow. Got a splinter in my hand. Yeah, that happened, but the goal for tonight is to at least get the driver's side valve cover on and torque down. Possibly the passenger side if all goes smooth. And tomorrow we're going to reassemble it. I wanted to share a quick tip with you guys that I picked up from the Car Wizard here recently. These valve covers use a pretty weird looking gasket. Show you that there. The bottom side is actually dimpled and it kind of just presses into it and floats in the middle. Looked next to impossible to kind of get that sandwiched into it and then get it into that engine bay there. So I was a little bit concerned with what I was going to do. Read some horror stories online about these right here. These two little half moons go into the back of the cylinder head, and they're just known to leak. You put them back on and they don't get in the right position. But like I said, the Car Wizard actually gave me a sweet tip to super glue, very, very lightly super glue the gaskets into the head, or sorry, the valve cover. So I just put a couple of dabs in some key areas, and I've had them sitting over here pressing in. And I gotta say, super impressed. A great tip. Thanks, Wizard, for that one. That's gonna save me a ton of time on this, because I was really concerned with getting that down into there. And then as you guys can see back here, these half moons, really worried with what I was gonna do with those. Now I don't have to, so I think it's time to start working on this thing, so we'll check back in when we make some progress. So it has been 30 minutes and I've got the driver's side valve cover on. Everything's torqued down on it. Man, does that look good. Do not regret this color choice at all. A lot of this is going to be covered up though by the engine covers, So you won't see a ton of that sticking out, but you'll get a nice peep of it. It is still early in the night though, so I'm gonna see if I can't get this driver's side installed and get this thing one step closer towards running tomorrow. You know, just give me a head start on the day. So I'll check back in as soon as I get this done. Hopefully it's 30 minutes, it could be 2 hours, but for you guys, it's gonna happen right now. All right, we're back here. I've got the passenger side on and all torqued down. This thing is looking good. That is really, really bright. Next step is gonna be to put the ignition coils back on, but the devil is in the details. The fire extinguisher chemical crap is everywhere on this car. So I've actually cleaned a couple of these up. I got a solution I found with some baking soda and water that neutralizes it. So I'm gonna hop on these now. It's finally getting late. I think we're gonna wrap this up for the night. So we're gonna catch you guys tomorrow. It is the next day and we are back on the Maserati project. Ended up getting the intake manifold cleaned up off camera. Put that thing through the parts washer. Ran to the local parts store and got a set of 8 spark plugs after I pulled one of these out. Absolutely, I mean, not terrible, but they needed done. Got the ignition coils all cleaned up. And then right here, these fuel lines were actually silver from the factory, but they got destroyed in the fire. So I went ahead and got a bunch of newspaper and masked off everything and pulled those through and laid down a couple of coats of paint on them, let them dry for a couple hours. So not factory, but a lot better than what we had. I guess at this point, it's time to start reassembling this thing, turn the key and see if she makes some noise. I've got the intake manifold and everything assembled on the Maserati. I'm getting ready to turn the key here and check for leaks, and I notice an absolutely massive problem here that's going to basically derail this project for a little bit. The intake manifold I got is from an F1 car, and it does not have the vacuum port right here from an Automatica. Did a little bit of research online, and it's a totally different setup. The intake manifold I purchased was just marked 04 to 08. I didn't really look it over too well, so this is kind of my fault. We're still going to be able to start it though, so I'm going to go turn the key and we're going to check for fuel leaks. It's the middle of the night and everybody in my house is sleeping, so this is probably not going to end well. But let's do this. All right, I have primed the system. Let's look for leaks. Nothing. Nothing. Bone dry. I say we try it. Sorry to my wife if you're watching this. You're probably not asleep yet, and if you are, that's about to end. Just needs fuel. Brake fluid low, that's a problem. I didn't touch that at all. Check engine light. Attention, do not proceed, man. This thing is angry. Oh, check engine light went off. All right, let's check for leaks. But it runs. Nothing that I see yet. All right, I'm gonna fill this thing up with coolant and bleed it out and see what we've got. Stay tuned. All right, she's been running for a couple of minutes now. I don't have any leaks up front. I put a little bit of coolant in it here. I'm not seeing any leak on the hose I was real worried about. Let's head to the back though and see if we're charging, because that's really gonna be the $1 million question. and it's gonna be the basis of how this repair is. All right, I got the voltmeter out here. Let's get her all set up. 0 volts. Now, hold on, bear with me. All right, guys, here goes. Oh, the darn thing keeps coming off. There we go. Get her stuck in there. All right, here goes nothing. Wish me luck. Otherwise, I don't know what to do. Woohoo! Oh, 16. That's kind of high. Why are we charging so high? I guess now I get to figure out why I'm overcharging. Lovely. That is gonna wrap it up though for tonight. I don't know, maybe the entire video. We'll see. Oh, cooling fan's kicked on. I'm gonna go mess with this thing and we'll check back here in just a minute. All right, curiosity got the best of me. I couldn't stop tinkering. I actually changed the batteries in the voltmeter, and I think we may have found our problem. I'm gonna fire this thing up and see what we got for a reading now. Maybe we're not actually overcharging. It's now like 11:45 at night, and my wife is going to be epically pissed, but inquiring minds must know the answer. All right. Come on, baby. We had a trunk light, come on. Oh, it's not gonna let me back into the trunk. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Uh-oh, we may have a real problem here. This key does not work well in the trunk. This is going to be a problem. Where is it? There it is. Please don't break, please don't break, please don't break. Okay. Take 2. There we go. There we go. Much better. I was really starting to worry that I had messed something up here. Let's close this trunk again. Why won't this work? Now it doesn't want to latch. Maserati life. All right, well, we've now got that problem with the intake manifold to address. I'm actually going to take a look at our inventory at J&J and see if I can't run out to work tomorrow and grab the correct intake manifold before I put all the covers back on this motor and go through this headache all over again. So the fate of this video is really going to lie on that. If this is where we end, guys, thanks for watching. Tune in as I figure out what in the heck I'm doing with the intake manifold. Or option 2, if I find one tomorrow, this video will continue on and we will put the correct intake manifold on it. What's up, guys? We are back here the next day, made it out to jandjautowrecking, got a replacement intake manifold here. That one has the correct vacuum port that this one is missing. This mix-up is totally my fault. I ordered something off the internet, didn't really pay attention to what I was buying. Typical eBay user, I'm that guy. So this is 100% my fault. I think it's going to be a pretty quick fix, so we're going to hop back on this, pull the injectors off, a couple of vacuum lines, pop the plenum back off, get the correct plenum on there, and then we can fire this thing up and run it for an extended period of time, check for any leaks, and see what's going on. So I'm going to catch you guys once that plenum's on. And we are back. I've got the correct plenum on here. This is the hose that we were missing. Totally my fault, like I said, but really not a terrible swap. 30-35 minutes with mild interruptions, but that's about the third, fourth, fifth time now. I've pulled 5 plenums off of these now between work and here trying to get parts. So Let's turn the key, check for leaks, and then fire it up. Really the only thing I'm concerned with is if I rolled an injector O-ring, because I did take the injectors out this time, but I went ahead and put a little bit of oil on them so that wouldn't happen. Let's turn the key here. Let's go look for fuel leaks before we cause another fire. Nothing on this side. I'm not seeing anything over here either. All right, I think it's time to fire it up. Fingers crossed. Pray for me, guys. Let's prime that fuel pump one more time. We've got a vacuum leak. What did I forget to hook up? Oh, this should be fun. Ah, we've got a massive vacuum line here. Hold on. Always something. All right, let's try that again. Let's see if I can hold this reservoir up so it stops yelling about the brake fluid. Nah, whatever. All right, let's see what we've got now. That's a lot better. All right, the moment of truth here. Will the check engine light go out? These things are, I think it's like a 15 or 16 second check they do. Check engine light's on every time you turn one of these on. There it is. Check engine light is off. Let's go look for leaks one more time. Nothing. Nothing on the valve covers up here, which I was worried about. Nothing. Well, I think the motor is good. I'm going to run it off camera, bleed the cooling system on it, and then I'm going to reassemble everything so I'm not left with any spare parts or excess parts. I know I'm going to be tearing back into this car, but the last thing I want to do is start shuffling around like all of this stuff. The rest of the air box, the wiper setup, the battery. I'm going to get everything reassembled on this car so it can be driven. Like I said, I know I'm going to be tearing it all back apart again. I've got some interior work to do, probably some more work under the hood, but I don't know when that's going to be. And if you've ever worked on something, you know the most frustrating feeling ever is not knowing where you put something. So while it's all fresh in my mind, I'm going to reassemble this car. We're going to back it out. If I've still got daylight left, we're going to back this thing out, maybe take it down the road, but we'll be back when she's all in one piece. We've got the Maserati completely reassembled. I'm holding the hood up here because the hood struts failed throughout the project. But there she is. Everything is back where it belongs. No missing bolts. Seems like no leaks yet, fingers crossed. The only thing left to do now is take a test drive. Now this thing has no license plates, and I'm just not going to say anything else, but we're going to go around the block really fast because that's a great idea. All right. Oh, yep, the key is, there it goes. The key is super jank. Check in progress, headlights. Number plate failure. It'll be all right. Refueling recommended. All right, there's nothing left to do but a quick test drive. Man, I parked this thing like garbage too, so I am wedged in the garage. I have honestly never driven this thing though, so this is an absolute first. Oh, it's already got a clunk in the front. Great. See if that light helps. Number plate light failure, I got it. I know. Oh, we are on public roads. Feels pretty good. Feels really good. The shifts are a little soft. I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe it just needs to relearn everything. Man, this suspension is kind of harsh. Yeah, brakes need some love from sitting. We're just gonna make this a quick one. All right, one pull. Oh, she moves for what she is. She moves. Probably should get this thing home now. Oh, yes, yes, so good. So good. Boom. All right, guys, I think that is going to wrap up this episode of the Maserati rebuild. Man, I'm excited. Kind of at a loss for words here. I just drove my $3,500 Maserati down the road. Like I said, that is going to wrap up today's episode. If you guys are looking for any parts for your Maserati or enthusiast vehicles, check out J&J Auto Wrecking. We have an absolutely massive supply of cars. We tend to buy everything that's cool. We sell a lot of motor swaps, but I know we've got like 4 or 5 Maseratis in the yard right now because I needed parts. So I'm going to leave a link in the description below. Make sure you go and check us out, guys. www.jandjautowrecking.com, or give us a call at 800-425-1555. Well, not a whole lot else to say on this one, guys. Thanks for watching.